presentation to raise your hand. I will give you the opportunity to ask your question if Christophe do not see your hand. So floor is yours, Christophe. You can start, and I start to register the meeting.
Hello, everybody. So I will, as Loic said, speak today about ODD concept and use in the automotive industry. There is two parts in the presentation. First large part about ODD engineering process proposal, and the second part, which is smallest, about an overview about links between ODD and driving automation level. And this presentation is based on previous work on Confiance.ai project. So the first part, ODD engineering process proposal. This work was presented in October 2022 during Confiance.ai days. So we began with ODD, which is operational design domain. And the first original definition, in fact, of operational design domain, which is in SAE G3016, the taxonomy and definition for terms related to driving automation system for on-road motors vehicles. I will speak a lot about this SAE G3016 during the presentation. There was a new version of this taxonomy in April 2021. So it could be interesting for you if you haven't did it yet to have a look to this new version. So operational design domain, the definition is operating condition under which a given driving automation system or feature thereof is specially designed to function, including but not limited to environmental, geographical, and time of day restrictions, and or the requisite presence or absence of certain traffic or roadway characteristic. So in the definition, we see several things. The first one, we are looking to operating condition. We are speaking about automation system. The design intention is very important equally in this definition. And after we speak about several restrictions of the operating conditions. And certain characteristics which shall be present or absent. So we see that ODD is dedicating to system level feature with automation capabilities. And it's important to understand that this definition is made in this context. Nowadays, there is an evolution of the ODD concept in several other fields, but the first one is this one. To illustrate this, we can see for a car, we can define a specific ODD for system level feature, which is a highway driving automation feature like TGC with a dedicated ODD on highway. And on the same car, you can have a parking automation feature which allows the car to make automatically a dedicated maneuver to park with another dedicated ODD. Both features can cohabit on the same car, the same system, with two different ODDs. To understand what is ODD, how it could be defined, we study one of the rare commercial system with real automation capabilities, which is TGC Mercedes, which is a SAE Level 3 automation system. And we base our work on the voluntary safety self-assessment that Mercedes give to NHTSA to explain their feature. We can see the several elements which are in the ODD definition of this TJC system. So, we have dynamic elements, scenario elements, and environmental condition. And as you can see, there is a speed limitation under 60 km/h in moderate to dense traffic condition. You need to drive in a traffic jam while following a target vehicle and without changing lanes. The road needs lane marking. It's only on a limited access highway with physical separation of traffic directions. To work, the TJC system need the absence of tunnels, tolls on construction sites. You can only use this feature driving by day in fair weather. You need absence of emergency vehicles, and you can only use this feature in Germany, Nevada, or California, only on dedicated road. This example gives a very interesting view of what could be the ODD for a specific feature. Is there a question? Oh, it's okay.
No question. So, maybe I don't know if it's you, but there's some network problem, but I don't know if it's on my side or on yours.
I think I hear him well. I think.
Yeah.
Okay for us.
Me too.
Okay, thank you. So I'll follow. So we try to define an ODD process, and we define firstly the challenges. The aim of the operational design domain is to define the restriction of the global operational domain required by the automated feature to work properly, taking into account technical limitations. Once the design of the system feature is achieved, ODD engineering consists in describing precisely in which external conditions the system works. Nevertheless, during the current articles on norm, do not explain the process to specify the feature and its related ODD in the engineering activities. They describe how to describe it, but not the process required to define it. So we see that working on an ODD at the beginning of the engineering process is useful in order to focus the engineering efforts on a realistic scope and not to have a too large field to cover. So that's why we worked on a dedicated process for ODD engineering. Usage of ODD for data engineering or system validation is not directly addressed in this presentation. We'll focus on ODD engineering, how to define the ODD. So we proposed a new process for ODD definition that allows to define a preliminary ODD at the beginning of the design process when several hypotheses have to be solved while taking into account non-technical limitation. And to do that, we propose a three-step approach for preliminary ODD definition of a new system feature. The first step is the identification of topics to address in the ODD. Secondly, we will have a definition of technical characteristics and limits for each topic identified in the first step. And in the third part, we propose an ODD consolidation at system level. In this process, we assume that the design of a new system feature always rely on the knowledge of reference systems. We never begin in an industrial way from a white page. So we have always reference systems that we want to improve. And ODD is not isolated. It is not an engineering pattern isolated, but it is one of the elements of the system design specification in the entirety. So I will go to the first step of the process. In this process, as I said at the previous slide, we can see that the ODD is dependent of the system and of its limitation. So we have to take into account the design intent. And to take into account this design intent, we have to use the preliminary design of the new system feature. And this preliminary design include preliminary architecture, preliminary technical solutions to cover needs, and non-constraints for the design. This preliminary design use the industrial state-of-the-art and the identification of one or several reference systems. This reference system regards application or technologies, or both. And in fact, when you take the industrial state-of-the-art into account, filtered on the reference system, you have all the elements required to make a gap analysis between the target system of your preliminary design and the reference system. And this allows you to have QCDP engagements at the beginning of the industrial project. And it is the entry of our ODD process. All these activities are outside of ODD process. So the first activity of ODD process is on the basis of the gap analysis to identify non-subject and new subjects. At the top of the process, you have how we treat known subjects, and at the bottom, how we treat new subjects. So on the basis of the gap analysis on the reference system and the feedback on the reference system, the first analysis for known subjects is to identify functioning limits of reference systems and to identify operational risk of reference systems with the feedback database. Once you do this identification on the reference system, you have you require an expert advice to filter and to keep only the relevant topic for the new system feature. Inside the feedback of the reference system, some elements are interesting for us, and others are not to take into account for the new system. For example, for the TJC Mercedes, which is traffic jam level 3 autonomous feature, you can use as a reference system automatic cruise control level 1 automation on German highways. But issues of this automatic cruise control at high speed on unlimited speed parts of the highway could be in the feedback, but doesn't interest us for a traffic jam situation. So it's out of the scope. Another feedback on the same automatic cruise control at low speed, in this case, is a topic to address in the ODD analysis. Once we are treated the known subjects, we have to treat remaining new subjects. Normally, in an industrial project, there is few really new subjects to treat because of industrial risk management. So, on the few new subjects, we can have an analytic approach for identify specific topics. These specific topics are often due to expansion of usage or increase of the autonomy level. So you can focus a group of experts to have a systematic analytic approach on all the new subjects. With these two approaches, with our classical in engineering activities, you can collect all the topic to address in the ODD at a macroscopic view. So we can go to the second step. Oh, no, excuse me. I have another small example of reference system. You can use a system SAE level 2 with a driver in supervision, like an automatic cruise control with lateral control, as a reference system for the SAE level 3 TJC development. Or in another field, which is not automotive, you can use industrial process visual inspection by a human operator through a camera to develop an autonomous visual inspection process by an AI-based system. So the second step, you have at the entry the list of topics to address in the ODD from the first step, and you still have the preliminary design of the new system feature, including the technical knowledge, the expert advices in the technical solution proposed to cover the needs, and including the regulation constraints. On the basis of this list of topics to address, you have the most important activity of the process, which is identification of influence factor. Influence factor are factors which make the system go to a nominal case to become an edge case or a risk. So it is this influence factor is the main point of the process, the main way to define the ODD. Once you are identify all the influence factor, for each factor you have to treat this influence factor in an engineering way, a technical way. So we have to identify measurable characteristics and associated threshold corresponding to the preliminary design. And this technical approach of the influence factor will allow to treat it. So it allows to complete the influence factor with measurable characteristics for all influence factor. In the definition of the ODD, we have to grant the good work of the system feature inside the ODD. So to grant that the system stay in the ODD, you have to define a safety margin and limits in order to prevent the system to go outside the ODD. So for each measurable characteristic, you think about safety margin on associated limits to complete this measurable characteristic. For each limit, there is an optimization to do between development costs and expected benefits. So for an influence factor on a measurable characteristic, you can have several solutions which impact your ODD, of course, but equally your design. So before validating margin and limits, it's important to make an optimization of cost and benefits. I have two examples to illustrate this step of the process. If we consider a vehicle on the highway and the ability to cruise in the lane as a topic to address, because experiments and lateral guidance, autonomous lateral guidance shows there is issue about cruising in the lane. You can identify as an influence factor the capability to perceive lane marking. So this ability to perceive lane marking will be decomposed into two measurable characteristics. The first one concerns the car itself and the distance that can be covered without lane detection. It's for, in particular, for discontinuous line. And in second part, another measurable characteristic is the lane marking readability on the ground, depending, for example, about color of markings. When you have to define margin and limits, you can imagine that choosing highway guarantee lane marking except for roadworks area. As a cost-benefits analysis, we can consider that the system could understand multiple lane marking with several colors in order to be able to treat roadworks area, and consider that when there is a white and yellow marking, yellow is prior to white marking. But this kind of development is more expensive than the exclusion of roadworks area. So it's a cost-benefits analysis at system definition and design intent level. Another example, if you consider entering exciting tunnel, which is in the feedback classical issue for level 2 systems. We can detect that influence factor is the quick variation of luminosity, which not allow a camera to read correctly the lane. As a measurable characteristic, you can define the variation of luminosity by temporality. As a safety margin, you can consider that no anticipation is possible, which lead to exclude tunnels from the ODD. But in a cost-benefits analysis, another solution is possible. You can have luminosity sensor at the entry and the exit of each tunnel. One sensor inside the tunnel, one sensor outside, with a V2X communication between sensors on cars in order to define for each tunnel if the luminosity variation is too high or not to enter on exit of the tunnel. In this second example, this solution, of course, is very more expensive than the first one. I think it's. I expect it's clear for everyone this step. So I will switch to the third step, the consolidation, system consolidation step. You have an initial situation with all the influence factors identified in the second step, all the characteristics, all the marginal limits. Till this point, we have treat influence factor by influence factor for each topic to treat in the ODD. Now we have to ensure a consolidation. The first consolidation, taking into account the preliminary design, is to ensure the consistency between the limits of the operational state of the system. So we do this for each factor. The objective is to prevent the system to switch very frequently from one state to another, depending of the marginal limits taken into account. So with this consistency verification, we have to reduce as a first intermediate step the definition of influence factor characteristic and marginal limits. Once we do this first check for each factor, we have a convergence step for the whole system feature. First, we gather characteristics by nature, for example, speed or luminosity or other things like that. And we define majorant and minorant limits. This at each step, ODD will be smaller and smaller, in fact. But it allows to grant a consistency of the ODD, taking into account all the influence factors for all the topics in a single conception. After this first step, we have the second step, where we gather characteristics by operational states. It appears to be the same that here, but here we are only for each factor. In the middle convergence, we are for the whole system. And here we research the aspect of stability of each state. Here we are searching for the understability for each user of the system. For example, some driving autonomous feature which are designed to work on highway could work on other type of roads. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So even if technically the ODD could be larger than what we will finally choose, at this step we prefer to restrict ODD only to highway in order that the end user could easily understand where his feature will really work. So you see, at the end of this convergence step, you have a reduced ODD with less influence factor, less characteristic, less marginal limit, but which englobe the previous one. At this last step, we have a global verification regarding something that could be a sectorial checklist with things that you have not to miss for a concept design. and regulation, but not regulation as requirement by requirement, but regulation as the global meaning of the regulation. So after all these steps to consolidate ODD, we make a last check to verify the conformity, but in fact the consistency to regulation, and to verify that no element of the sectorial checklist have been forgotten. And it leads to the final ODD. In conclusion, in this part, operational design domain, at the end of the process, we have the preliminary ODD, which is defined with the output elements, influence factors, their characteristic, and the associated margin and limits. The preliminary design shall be simplified to take into account restriction issued from ODD definition. In the first preliminary design, which is in the entry of the ODD process, we have some assumptions, but in fact, when we reduce the usage scope of the feature with the defined ODD, it could lead to simplify the design. As we reduce the ODD and we reduce the system, at project level, a gate review shall be performed to check if the design and its associated ODD are consistent with the system feature initial business case. Perhaps we have shrink the system feature too much and lead to something which has no added value for an user. So after this process, I will present you open issues. So in ODD design process definition, we are in an analytic approach, which consists in defining the limits of the ODD, and which only concern influence factor. And so we define the limits of the ODD by the influence factor. In other view, we speak about ODD description, for example, for dataset definition or system validation. And in this point of view, you need a definition of the whole area inside the limits. So both approach as complementary because you need the limits to know what is inside and outside. And for some activities, you need to describe inside. Methodology are developed from taxonomy and ontology, and several works are on this subject today. But a lot of question remains. Is it possible to cover the whole domain? How to define a reference taxonomy for each application domain? As I said at the beginning of the presentation, for highway driving or for parking automation system, it's not necessarily exactly the same taxonomy. What is the required level of detail for ODD description, which is linked with the next point? Is ODD description dependent of sensor technology? If you have a system based on cameras, sensors, you perhaps don't have to describe exactly the same way with the same taxonomy the ODD than if you have LiDAR sensors or radar sensors. So it's an additional difficulty for this ODD description activity. In addition, ODD, operational design domain, only concerns system environments. it does not allow to describe the intended behavior of the system. That's why ODD is always dependent of system design. Is there any question of this on this open issues?
No hand raised, for instance.
Thank you. So I give you here some reference documentation. The SAE G3016 in its 2021 version, which is a taxonomy and definition for terms related to driving automation system for on-road motor vehicles. I give you the free download link because SAE give this taxonomy freely. And if you want to have more elements about ODD, I recommend you in particular to read the chapter 6 of this document. You have BSC Pass 1883 operational design domain taxonomy for an automated driving system specification, which insists on ODD description. And you have a very new ISO FDIS 34503 documentation, road vehicle test scenario for autonomous driving system taxonomy for operational design domain. It is still in the last step before publishing. I think it will be signed since end of May 2023. But these two documents, basically I'm not sure, but ISO you have to pay to access to it. And you have equally ASAM OpenODD works on this subject. So to end the presentation, a short overview about link between ODD and driving automations level. Perhaps I use a lot the automation level since the beginning of the presentation, but that it's not clear for everyone of you. So I hope with the end of the presentation, it will be easier to follow. Always the same SAE G3016 documents give after the first Tesla accident a definition of autonomy level. As an overview, you can consider two main areas. Level 0 to 2, which are driver support feature called ADAS, Advanced Driving Assistant System. In all this level, the driver is driving. So you are driving and not the autonomous feature. And you must constantly supervise the driving. And today, Tesla vehicles, even with full named full safe driving, is SAE level 2 feature. And after, you have level 3 to 5, which are real automated driving features. I will detail level by level in the next slide. And for SAE level 3 to 5, the car take the responsibility of driving. So you are not driving, and you don't have to monitor or supervise driving, except for level 3 when the system requests you to take over the system. It's important to understand that level of autonomy reflects the design intent for the driving automation system feature as defined by the manufacturer. It's you can change easily from one level to another level. Your system feature is designed to address one specific autonomous level. To have more detail, we will see criteria which makes the difference between several levels and the link with ODD. For this autonomous level, we are talking about dynamic driving task. Dynamic driving task, in fact, the real-time operational and tactical functions required to operate a vehicle in on-road traffic. And the increase of autonomous level allowed to pass from manual drive to an intermediate, which is a shared human system drive, to an autonomous driving. In level 0, you have the increasing level from bottom to top. So we can begin with level 0. Level 0, automotive feature have a punctual action on the system. As level 0 system, you have AEBS, emergency braking system. You drive your car manually, and if you miss to brake in front a potentially accidental situation with a car or a pedestrian, the system punctually brakes the car. In level 1, there is a continuous control of the car by the system motion control. For level 1, it's lateral control or longitudinal control, but only one, and the human driver still makes the dynamic driving task for the other. If the car drives lateral, you still brake on the driver still brake or accelerate. At the opposite, if you have an automatic cruise control which brake or accelerate the car, you still have the steering wheel to make a dynamic lateral dynamic driving task activities. After the level 2, the autonomous feature have the control on lateral and longitudinal motion. So, as I said in the previous slide, level 2 is still ADAS. So, the autonomous feature can only address some action called OEDR, for Operational Event Detection and Response. And human driver has to supervise the system in order to take over the control if the system is not able to address the situation. The frontier between ADAS and autonomous vehicle is between level 2 and level 3. In level 3, the system assumes the complete object and event detection and response to address the dynamic driving task. The driver still have to do fallback, but not by its own supervision of the system, but only when the system asks him to do it. And when you reach level 4, the system is able to make the fallback itself. It's what you have perhaps heard about minimum risk maneuver. That's when the system can only go to a safe state regarding dynamic driving task without human intervention. But for level 3 and level 4, we remain on a specific domain. For particular cars, it's often on highway or for specific parking maneuvers. And you have to reach level 5 to be able to drive everywhere like human driver knows to do. So without domain-specific limitation. In level 4, you have equally shuttle or autonomous buses, which are able to drive in a specific area in city or suburb. But this area is known by the system, and the system has learned to treat this specific domain, a known domain. I hope all the level is clear for us now, and so we can see the impact about ODD and autonomous level. For level 0, there is no ODD because it's a punctual intervention. It's the driving task to prevent accidents. The autonomous featured level 0 can avoid certain accidents, but if it can't, it's not its responsibility. It's the driver responsibility. For level 1 and 2, you can have an ODD like an exclusion. But it's not a global ODD as I present you in the first slide. You can it's the driver responsibility to activate or not is, for example, it's automatic cruise control, for example, you can use automatic cruise control in the city. It will brake and accelerate to follow the car in front of you. But if you turn right and left, or if the other car disappear and is not in front of you, perhaps you have to take over the end and braking, and for example, automatic cruise control don't take into account signaling lights. So if there is a red light, it's the driver that have to brake and not the automatic cruise control. So for level 1 and 2, you can have exclusion, but it's not a complete ODD. ODD, as I define it during all the presentation, is in reality required for level 3 and 4, where there is a total dynamic gravity task taken into account by the system, and where autonomous driving has to be defined on a specific area. And for level 5, when you can drive in an unlimited domain, the SLG 3016 said that there is an unlimited ODD. So it's the same that if there is no ODD, so it's not possible to define it because it's the whole world. So in level 5, in fact, ODD engineering pattern is not relevant, in fact. So I finish with the presentation.
Thank you, Christophe, for your presentation. Maybe, I don't know if there is some questions, some element that somebody want to ask to Christophe regarding his presentation.
Maybe I'll ask one question.
Yes.
Sorry again. So this is Ganesh from CNRS. So again, because the field is very new for me, so it's very interesting to learn about this. So 2 questions. One is, so ODD is after you, I mean, you define your ODDs for some influence factors, and but it is considering that the influence factors are measured or are able to be measured properly. Is that correct? So if by chance, do you also consider the fact that sometimes the influence factors may not be visible to the sensor, or does the ODD also consider that to that level, or is it considering only that, I mean, assuming that the factors are given, what should be what are the margins? Oh.
For example, in the TGC Mercedes, you have a control center with a human person which can put a flag to know if the weather is fair or not, or if there is or not presence of construction sites. So you can see that it's not necessarily to the autonomous system to define the limit. He needs the information, but it's not necessarily by itself.
I see. So the ODD does not consider the abilities of the sensors itself. So it's as in maybe, you know, even if it's day, if the car doesn't have a sensor to know it's a day, then the ODD for that vehicle, for that car, should be different than the ones that can. So I mean, it doesn't consider the perceivable factors, or it's only influence factors that are defined by a human according to human perception, or so on the other hand, there may be sensors which can detect more than a human, you know, the experimenter, the controller. So,
for example, for example, on a Mercedes TJC, the car is equipped with a LiDAR. The LiDAR allows the car to drive by night, but the ODD only allow daytime.
I see.
So it's not only it takes into account sensor capabilities by the feedback of reference system, but it's not linked to technical capabilities. You can choose margin. For example, I think for the daytime, it's because even for human drivers, there is more accidents during night than during day. So it's allowed to make the system in a situation which is
I understand. It's more safety, giving more. I understand. Okay, the second question is also related to the influence factors. So if there's mainly the influence factors are determined by the controller, because there may be so many influence factors and they may be coupled, right? Sometimes, as in, you know, if there's a car in front of you, it may be it may be one factor, and if it's weather, it may be one factor. But if the weather and the car come together, it may be a completely new factor, as in it's coupled, so the things may be different. So my point is, it seems that it's completely relying on the controller to have the ability to recognize all the couplings, all the influence of the factors. Is that correct? That's one of the drawbacks. So
that's why we focus our approach as an improvement of a reference system.
I see.
Because it allows to focus only on the difference and to know what works and what doesn't work in the reference system. And that's why when you increase the autonomous level, you have to shrink the ODD in order to maintain safety level. It's a trade-off, in fact. And perhaps you will reduce your ODD only because you are not able to take into account all the situation. So you choose to propose a smallest feature, but that you can grant, and that's the trade-off of the ODD regarding the global context.
I see. Okay, thank you for the presentation.
Dimensionality is a very big issue when you're discussing ODD. You can have a really big dimensionality curves. I I don't know if there is any other question. If we do not have question, I will stop the recording, and at least I can stop even if we continue to discuss that. So thanks, Christophe, for your presentation. I will stop the recording, and if there is one or two other question, we can still discuss, or otherwise, good weekend to everybody.